In downtown New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Houston Texans. The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out.
Set, 19. Check, 47. Watch run.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller, looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
It's our time. Both sevens the mic. Twist.
From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
47's the mic. Oh, you got deep? Hey, check, Mike, 47.
Now Watson. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Here's Watson. And he whips that one incomplete there. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Check 56. Tackle. White 56. Alert.
Watson looks to throw again. He's going to look deep in zone for Hopkins. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 36 yards. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Brees under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney Merciless, showing no mercy, flies in for the sack.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
To try again after the sack. Brees sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Brandon Dunn able to drop him for a loss of a couple. At the 23-yard line. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Brees going to throw. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. A big loss there of 9 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Brees now. Caught on the left side by Ginn. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
His 13th NFL season now, Ted Ginn, still a reliable target for Drew Brees. 787 yards in 2017, just 5 games last year due to injuries, but he still has the wheels.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
At the 39-yard line.
He's set. 19. And we got to get to the ball, D. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Hey, 31. 47, Mike. Mike, 47. Out we go.
From the 39, Watson. Off to Thomas on the left side. "28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here we go, D. Let's move forward. It's me and you. It's just me and you.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Watson, completion left side to Miller. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
18. Check, 47. Come on, dude.
Watson on 1st down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This not the final game of this opening weekend. Still one more, and that comes your way later tonight out in Oakland. The Denver Broncos and Vic Fangio's coaching debut taking on the Oakland Raiders, the final home opener for the Silver and Black in the East Bay. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
41 Mike. 41 Mike. Ricky.
Now Breeze. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. From the gun, it's Breeze. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Texans will extend their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? The 20. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On first down, it's Watson. Forced out to his left. It's a touchdown. It's a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Texans continue to pour it on. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive – I mean, remember we talked with the offensive line? And one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. I just breathe – bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. Let's put him on the bus. Let's put that team on the bus. 11. 41 Mike.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Texans take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
And now out comes Houston. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
17 yards. First down, Houston.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Big stop, let's go.
And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
On first down, Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's go.
A gain of 21 yards. First down, Texans.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a first down on a gain of 10. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll go with Foreman. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Texans add on. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
95-56, 95-56.
It's now 3rd down and 4.
Hey, easy. 13. 41's coming. 41's a money.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Breeze. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Breeze to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Hey. We got 3. We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. 5-8. 41.
The final shot before half for Breeze. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we are at halftime in the first of 2 here on this opening Monday night of 2019. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw, it's Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Breeze. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Breeze to another longtime vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of...
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. To throw is Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The Texans send the punter out. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. This is taken at about the 14. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here first and 10 at their 36-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10.
41's the mic. 41's the mic.
Throwing now is Breeze. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. And he finds Cook. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. The Saints on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Breeze now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 78 yards. And the Texans continue to pour it on. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready. We're waiting. 41's the mic. It's coming this way. Coming this way. Here we go. Here we go.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Four down. Check.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Here comes Carter. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 40. They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Reset. Ready. Mike 47. Pick me up. Here we go.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Von Bell up to make the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gap.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 53 yards, and the Texans add on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
Oh, she's at least
she's on like the 5th tune.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Breeze. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in the game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offense coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop.
It's 2nd and 8.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller taking it in. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "What was that all game?" Or maybe just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
21. 21's coming. 41's the mic. Hey, wahoo!
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Let's go.
Now, Breeze again. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown.
And my goodness, another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, it's Miller. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Right there, 56.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out.